So this is what it looks like. So hey everybody, how y'all doing? Are you okay? In your neck of the woods? When we dry them up, too cool. Now go too deep, you know. Yeah, you have to watch Joe, you know. Our troops, see there? Apple cider vinegar and our troops. Come up right, make them get saturated in the gravy and all of that. On today's episode of the Jamaican cooking journey, I'll be sharing with you a stovetop mac and cheese recipe. Now I do have one there that I did maybe about 2 years or so ago, but I'm just choosing to do another one. This is gonna be basically done the same way, but I'll be just changing up like ingredients, you know. So I'm gonna leave the link to that one. You can go check it out and then you can make your choice from there. You know, Mother's Day is in the hair, and people might be looking for more recipes more than ever, as opposed to be going, okay, you know, everything is sort of sky high now. So people will be, I think people will be trying to cook more, making more, you know, dishes. Whereas if you want some lavish dishes and something, you know. So right here I have some, I'm using, I can't believe it's not butter, and it doesn't matter, I just use what I have, family. But if for you want to use specific things as the butter, and so you can just go ahead and use what you want to use. I'm melting this butter here. Most of the times as a Jamaican, I just got to use what I have. I'm not cannot afford to go outside of my budget to go and buy specific things, especially if I can use what I have. Nicely melting right there and so forth. I don't want to get it burned, so I am going to add now, I'm going to make a roux with this one. Right here I have some sweet corn flour, and I'm going to be using, this is like about 1/8 of a cup, and I'll be using this. This is sweet corn flour. So I'll be putting this with the, I can't believe it's not butter, and I am going to make a roux right there. If you want to, yeah, so that is how it is. So you know, you make a roux by using butter and some form of flour. Gonna get my heat down a bit. Wow. Yeah, so I'm gonna let this do its little thingy right there. I don't want it all becoming all lumpy, so I'm gonna get it right there. You can use a whisk if you want. I can maneuver this with my wooden spoon, so do you. Now I am going to be using some milk, but this time I'll be using evaporated milk, because I've got to let that corn flour cook with this butter. So I'm using evaporated milk, and I'll be using a little at a time. I don't want to put too much, and I've lowered my flame right there. I think I can get it a little lower too. Yeah, so I might be using 2. I'm using this because I can't get the bigger ones. I just don't know. I can't get the thin ones, and I can't get the others. So I'm just reusing about 2 of this. If I should want more, which I don't think, I may just use a little regular milk. This is gonna give it, I think, a little more creamy, or it should give a little more creaminess to it. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'll have the second one as I go along. I'm gonna be, let me hold this, making a noise. I'm gonna be smoothing out this corn flour in this milk and butter until it gets smooth. Then at that point I will probably add the other one, and then I'll start adding my cheese. I'm gonna be making the elbow macaroni. I have, I think, one of the smallest ones there, so I'm gonna just whisk, not whisk, this is not a whisk. I'm just gonna, but my thing here, it seems as if the burner is not level or something, so I'm just gonna do it like this. This is basically what I'm doing. And with that butter and that sweet corn flour, I'm getting a flavor already, and the evaporated milk, actually I'm getting a flavor that I didn't know that I would start getting from now. So I'm on the low, and this is what I'm doing, trying to get out the lumps from the flour as it cooks the roux. This is what we call a roux, okay? So as it cooks, as it goes along and cook, the flour, that corn flour, is gonna be cooking, because you want to cook that flour there for about 4 to 5 minutes, you know. So yeah, it's getting smooth right on, and you see that heat coming out. Yeah, we can add the other one right now. So I have added in total 2 of these boxes. I'm using about 8 ounces of uncooked elbow macaroni. So right here now I have it on the lowest flame that I have, because I don't want the milk to start, you know, burning and bubbling and itching in the bottom of the pot. I'm just gonna continue stirring it around, and you see most of my corn flour, sweet corn flour, that is what I am using. So I'm gonna let it get heated up a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and add my cheese. Let me introduce you to the cheeses that I'll be using. I don't have a lot of experiences of cheese, because actually in Jamaica we really don't have a lot of cheeses, and when you do see them, they're like in small pieces, really expensive. So I would use mild cheddar. This is the mozzarella, everybody knows it's for the stickiness, and this is some Parmesan. I had Parmesan in the, you know, those grated Parmesan. So I had never used the block before, so we decided to get one, and the camera girl did make some pasta, and it was so flavorful. So I've decided to use some Parmesan in this one. So you can go ahead and use any cheese where you want use. So I'm putting in the mild cheddar. This is what I'm putting in, and basically you can just put in everybody, but I like to put them in. I put it right there, and as I can get my flame up a bit right now, we're trying to dissolve them. Yep, and we don't have to be too harsh. Yeah. I'm putting in the Parmesan right now, and I'll add the mozzarella last. The Parmesan seems real flavorful, so I don't put a lot. I don't want it overpowering. It tastes really nice. Okay, and this is it cooking. So I'm gonna dump in now all my mozzarella. This is what it looks like. We may use a little more of the cheddar to top it off, but not sure. We'll see how it goes. So this is what we're doing. We want this sauce as creamy as possible. On the very low. I'm gonna get my heat back down to low. Right here I've got some parsley, and I'll be putting a little bit of parsley in there, you know, just to give it a notch. I will now got too much. Now I have garlic, and I'll be grating about 3 pegs of garlic in there in return. So I just had my grated garlic and my parsley. If whatever you want to add, you can add. Okay, so those little lumps I like from my garlic, so don't mind. So I think I'm gonna turn my flame right off at this point, and I'm gonna start on my macaroni, elbow macaronis. I'm gonna leave it, take it from the flame, and leave it to come together a bit. If when I'm ready it gets too thick, I can easily add a little milk. And I think I like this sauce. How you say? What do you think, camera girl?
Yeah, it's good.
Yes, I think I really like this sauce. So it's off the flame now, and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna put my heat on now for my macaroni elbow. I'm using about 8 ounces. Yes, I think this is about 8 ounces. I'm using the smaller one. So I'm gonna let this water come to a boil with like no salt in there, because these cheeses, I know they're really salty. I don't go for a lot of salt, but if you would like to use salt, you can do it. I'm gonna let my sauce cool down a bit as I cover, not fully cover, but I'm gonna cover, and I'm gonna let my water come to a boil for my elbow. In the next section I will see you. My water is coming to a boil. You don't have to wait until a rigorous boil. This is, as I said it before, this is the hottest part of the water now. You see those bubbles forming? The water is at its hottest right now. When it starts boiling and the bubbles coming out, it's not at its hottest. So I'm cooking it in reasonable amount of water, or to your package instruction. So I'm gonna lower the flame right now because I don't want it coming over, because you know them something here. If you don't monitor them properly, they will come over. Stirring, I'm not putting any oil, and I'm also not putting any salt. I'll be monitoring this. I maybe cook this for about 8 minutes. I think they are small and they are elbow. Cooking it half mass. I don't want it to boil all the way over. My sauce is over here being cooled down, where as soon as our macaroni is cooked, or our pasta is cooked, we'll just drain it definitely and add it right to it, so it will come in with extra heat, and it is gonna let the sauce get a little thinner. So don't mind it, it's thick here. I think it's at its best, and I tasted it a little off camera, and it tastes so good with that parmesan, that freshly grated block, the block parmesan. It really gives it a good flavor. But you can use your cheese, and as we go along and as we find different cheeses in Jamaica and we can afford, we'll try, and as we try, we will share with you. So I'll catch you when the pasta is cooked and drained. So okay, now family, so my pasta is all cooked and drained. It's a little bit more than al dente, or whatever they want to call it, just a little bit more. And you see, I didn't just drain it and let it get all dry. I decided to put it back in this with some of that like slide pasta water on it, and look at this, the heat and some of that extra water on it from the cooking. This is what it looks like. So you can easily well now turn your heat a little bit up back and just let it on the lowest that you have. What do you think about this, camera girl?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, so this is what it looks like. So I did it a little different from the other one. Look at this stovetop mac and cheese. I used a different, I made a roux actually this time, so you don't have to let it stay there. So this is it, so beautiful. So we are just getting it warmed up. So actually I had the right amount of sauce, and the sauce was at the right consistency. Just move your mac and cheese before, and don't cook it with butter. I didn't cook it with salt. I'm just letting it go right back. Now you realize that when I left it to cool, the sauce had gotten a bit little thickish, but I know that with the heat, yeah, and I can really smell this parmesan, the flavor of the parmesan coming out. This is what it looks like, and as it goes through and absorbs all that extra sauce, look at this. When I see you next, I'll be plating up, or some will be plated up just for you. At the top for presentation, I'm using the finer part. From my kitchen to yours, from my Jamaican kitchen to your family table, to your plate, and most of all to your stomach. It is your stovetop mac and cheese, done just in time in case you're gonna be cooking for Mother's Day. Now, I know some people might want to say, wow, and this, but remember, we don't eat these every day. Actually, you should not be eating this every day, but a little every now and then, I don't think it will do any harm. So if you have liked this video, remember to give it a big fat thumbs up. Remember to make sure that you're subscribed to the Jamaican Cooking Journey. We'll be coming out with some like straight meals, maybe 2 or 3 before Mother's Day, so you can pick your choice, so you can have ideas if it is that you're not dining out. Thanks for the love, thanks for the support. Big shout out to my patrons. I'll be uploading for you today a beautiful video. Thank you all so much. If you'd like to be a part of my Patreon family, in the description of this and other videos and lives, there will be the link. There will be the link for your PayPal. There will be Cash App. There will be Zelle. There will also be a number for you to get on to me, and there will also be my email. All of those will be there for you to use for no hanky-panky reasons. I'll see you again. Remember to be you, do you. Most of all, love you. Some stovetop mac and cheese for this Mother's Day.